everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I am sitting here with Anthony Ramirez from Warnock and McKinlay. Anthony, thank you so much for being on Stand Up with Lorie.
Sure, thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited to introduce you to our viewers. I know you have so much to share with us.
I'm excited to be here and was very excited when I got the call to come and meet with you.
Let's start off by getting to know a little bit about you.
So I've been an attorney since about August of 2016. It is a second career for me, actually more like a third. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. Had always wanted to be a police officer, so I completed my studies in law enforcement administration and became a police officer with the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. I did that for a few years, got divorced, and moved back to Arizona. And started working as an insurance adjuster, doing property casualty claims. So I was working opposite, what I'm doing now. That walk got me, one of my clients, Liberty Mutual, had asked me to do some insurance fraud investigation for them and wanted me to get a private investigator license. My sister is an attorney. She's actually a Harvard Law graduate, a Harvard Law attorney. Wow. And I didn't want her to get one over on me. I had always wanted to be, had an interest in the law. In fact, that's why I became a police officer. And it was the easier route to practice law, I guess, or to be involved in the law was to be a police officer. I got to a point where I just made a decision that I wanted to be a lawyer. So I went and put myself through law school while working. And we survived it, and so I became an attorney. But I've maintained my insurance adjuster licenses, so I'm actually in addition to being an attorney, I'm also a licensed property casualty adjuster in Arizona and Texas, and also a licensed private investigator here in Arizona. And that really helps me a couple of ways. So being a property casualty adjuster, I know the games that the adjusters that I'm working opposite of now play. And it helps me understand the value of the cases and explain to my clients better the process and what's going on, because I'm not telling them, well, I used to be an adjuster, or this is what I've been an attorney so long, this is what I think is going to happen. I can actually tell them, no, I am a licensed adjuster and here is what's going to happen. As far as the investigation process, I don't put myself in situations where I'm going to be a witness, but I do get involved in my own investigations, cases sometimes to find things out. If I do hire a private investigator, because I am one, I know who to go to, I know who to trust out there, and I also make sure that the work is being done the way I would do it. And so that helps me with that. It's fun.
Anthony, while I applaud you for your intense career, you've accomplished so much. And you've been able to obtain so much knowledge to be able to represent your clients. And let's go back a little bit to the private investigator. Okay. Tell me how that works hand on hand with what you do now.
So, for example, if I need to find a witness or obtain a statement or locate someone that needs to be served, we can do all that ourselves. I don't have to farm it out to a private investigator that's going to charge me $150 an hour. I have the tools and the skill set to be able to do my own skip traces and do my own checks. If there's a liabilities in question for a particular accident, let's say an insurance company is describing a case in a different way than our client is describing it, I've got no problem with going out to the intersection and investigating it myself what happened. A lot of it is a comfort level. It's not just so much having the knowledge, but being comfortable with doing it. I had one time where I was trying to get some insurance information for a person that had a premises liability claim. It was a dog bite claim. And we needed this homeowner's insurance information, and we'd been sending over some letters asking for them to give us the information so that we could make a claim. And our responses were falling on deaf ears. So, one day on the way home from work, I decided to just go ahead and get their address, go knock on their door, tell them I'm the attorney and why aren't they responding to my letters. A lot of that has to do with just being able to be confident and doing that. Maybe there are attorneys out there that are doing it. I just know I'm comfortable.
And you being a police officer in the past,
it helps.
I'm sure it helps.
It helps.
That's great. So do you feel I'm pretty sure that's what sets you aside from other personal injury attorneys here in the Valley?
Sure. So I think the Valley's actually pretty lucky to have a lot of good personal injury attorneys. It makes our job interesting in trying to find those clients. I do think that being an adjuster and being a private investigator does give me a skill set that a lot of other attorneys don't have. Things that I do personally that I think, and again, I can't speak for other attorneys, I don't know what they do, but one of the things that I do differently at Warnock and McKinlay is all my clients get my personal cell phone. Every single one of them can call me at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and it doesn't bother me. I'll take the call. The clients know that they can always reach me, and I think that the feedback that I get from clients is that does set me apart.
Did you have a personal experience that drew you towards personal injury that you wanted, once you became an attorney, you wanted to practice in the personal injury field?
Sure. So, when I first started practicing, I was also doing criminal defense. I'm doing strictly accidents, personal injury law now. For me, being a property casualty adjuster and seeing the way that the insurance companies mistreat claimants, it was really what drew me to want to be a personal injury lawyer and focus my practice on that. Insurance companies have a distinct advantage against claimants, being that they have much deeper pockets. They can, outlast a claimant in a claim. And, sometimes the decisions, the values that they place on these files, not just the value, but also, admitting liability or denying a claim, denying liability. The public needs a voice out there, and they need somebody out there that knows what they're doing.
Have you had an experience where maybe you felt like due to this experience, you are where you are now?
I do have that. I actually have that on a regular basis. I have, clients are much more closely connected to their case than I am. We care about all of our cases and all of our clients, but it's ultimately they're the ones that were injured in an accident. They're the ones that had the bodily injury. So sometimes their opinions about the way a case should be heading might not be what it really is in real life. And so being able to leverage that experience as an adjuster and an attorney, it helps me reel in my clients from time to time when that needs to happen. And basically what I'll do is I'll take off my attorney hat, put on my adjuster hat, and say, if I was an insurance defense attorney or an insurance adjuster, this is what I would be thinking. Not that I agree with it, not that we're not going to fight it, but that this is what we're fighting against. This is what we have to think about. And sometimes, the way that these cases take shape and the way that you can kind of see where they're going to end up, the clients might not like it. It might not be, what they thought was going to happen, but at least they have an understanding of why things are taking place that way. And I think that the skill set that I bring to the, to the business helps me get that across to the client.
After you being able to wear so many hats, what created that spark for personal injury?
So again, just being, knowing how the insurance industry works and that they have an advantage over claimants and, can use that to pay out as little as possible. That's their job, is to collect premiums, drive up their profits, and pay out as little as possible as they can in settlements. And so my job as a personal injury attorney is to make sure that, not only is liability not in question, but to make sure that the case is being valued properly.
Anthony, before we go, please let our viewers know where they could find you.
Great. So I am an attorney at Warnock and MacKinlay Law. Our offices are at the Scottsdale waterfront in Scottsdale at the corner of Camelback and Scottsdale Road. And our website is youraccidentlawyer.com.
And I hope you all enjoyed all this valuable information, and we will see you next time. Thank you.